Do you have any idea how many lineups, how many batting orders a manager does almost daily, but certainly throughout the year? They write one and rip it up, and they write one and rip it up. We're starting that process. Jeff and I did some potential batting orders. We'll talk about them next. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast. Gone, I think, are the days when lineups get locked in, like for the whole season. But you know, it's a fun process. It really is, to just kind of go through and see what the lineup will look like, and that's what we are going to do a little bit of today. You can poke holes in it as much as you'd like to, and we'll poke holes in each other's, I'm sure. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast. Me, John Radigan, Jeff Wilson, Kat's over there. The Queen's got us locked and loaded in her special way. And who was it? Blue Star Gang, thank you very much for updating and upgrading your membership. Blue Star Gang just became a member of the Supporters Club. Love seeing all those gold medallions in there. It's fantastic. And love seeing all of our normal people from the chat, including Kelly Man, who caught it yesterday when I didn't. That is that list of 100 we did yesterday. Just pretend that at the very beginning of that we said, just for reference, here's last year's list.
It still sucked.
And it did. And next year's list is coming out soon. So anyway, MLB Network started releasing their list last night. No Rangers in the bottom 20. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. I'm sure the list will suck when it's all said and done. And by the way, they got something wrong today, MLB. I don't remember what it was, but I'm like, what are you kidding? Oh, they had their best left fielders. They listed a list of the best left fielders, and they didn't have Wyatt Langford on there. They had Evan Carter as the left fielder. So, come on, MLB Network, unless they know something we don't. But I don't think they do.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're glad to be here with you. It's a beautiful day. It's a little windy out there. But a gorgeous day almost makes you feel like playing a little baseball, which may be why we were inspired to create some lineups and start thinking about it. And the other thing, Jeff, is that Chris Young had said the other day, and it doesn't mean they're completely done, obviously. We've said that 100 times. But he said, we're position player-wise, we're feeling pretty good. We're going to try to be opportunistic with sort of bolstering the starting lineup. I mean, the starting rotation and the, and the bullpen. So if these are the guys we're going to go with, what did we think? And that's why we thought we'd put together a lineup.
Yeah. Everybody's probably done it already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you kind of keep it in your mind as you go.
Right. Yeah. And as you're exactly right, as you're doing the acquisitions, and it's like, okay, where does this guy fit? And Brandon Nimmo's obviously the biggest one.
Yes.
Where do the Rangers see him fitting the best? So anyway, we're gonna figure this one out, John.
Yeah, and Gallagher Champ has news that we will share with you later. Small groups of Rangers are headed to a few DFW Krogers, and so we'll give you that list if you haven't seen it already. And yes, it's a good question, Kelly, man. Lineup or batting order? It's basically it's we've got the position and the batting order, so that's your lineup card, as they call it.
Yeah.
Both things are covered on your lineup card.
Yeah, and I've always gone back and forth with that one.
Me too.
The batting order. Because the lineup, you usually put the pitcher in there, right?
You do. He's is the pitcher on the lineup card?
I believe so.
That the Rangers put out. He probably is. Theirs says batting order. I think theirs is a lineup card.
Well, whatever it is.
Yeah, but it's
semantics.
Yeah, it's essentially the same thing. So anyway, let's take a look at mine first, as Jeff and I both decided we would do. Jeff actually had the brilliant idea. I was just thinking of game 1 in my head when I did the list.
Yeah.
And Jeff put 2 together, so I scrambled and put 2. Against lefties, against righties. I see Nimmo as your leadoff guy. He's a guy who has proven that he can, hit left-handed pitcher. He kind of taught himself, if you will, fought for the ability to do that. I have him in 2 different positions, so he's going to play center for me against lefties. He's going to play right field normally, which is, again, the vast majority of games are against right-handed pitching, right? My top 4 is the same both times around. And what I do like about this lineup, I mean, especially against righties with these top 4, is that you go right, left, right, left. No.
Well, you've got 3 lefties there at the top.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I got 3 left. Yeah. That's not good. All right. Well, anyway. So there's that lineup.
All right, we're already scratching that one.
We're going to scratch that one.
Already won that one up.
Yep, throw that one in the water.
Okay.
Let's see Jeff's. Yeah.
Yeah, here come my lineup.
You got Langford leading off.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So the Rangers open against the Phillies on March 26th in Philadelphia. And I'd be shocked if left-hander Christopher Sanchez isn't starting that game. I think he finished second in the Cy Young. So that's what made me think, boy, we probably have a platoon here. I there you see it. Langford center, Seager, Josh Young, who's been historically good against left-handers, then Nimmo, Berger, Jansen, Duran. So I've got 4 righties in a row coming up. Yeah, okay. 5 righties in a row at the end, actually. So I only have 2 left-handed bats in there. I put Freeman at second. I put him there because, when you would switch to a right-hander and pinch hit, and we'd have kind of Smith.
Yep.
There at 9. I don't remember what I did for right-handers. There she is. All right. I do have Jock Peterson in there. Carter, which we corrected that. I don't know why it still says Carer. We corrected that, damn it. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think the wild card here is Josh Smith, though, because the Rangers seem to like him higher in the order, and I understand that, but it seems like Nimmo appears to be the guy who's going to bat first.
He does. And somebody's already commented that Kellyman did. Seager at 3. Jeff likely disagrees with that. I like Corey Seager in the 3-hole. I know. Here's the problem. He doesn't like being in the 3-hole. So
yeah, and I'm, I've kind of become the, get your best hitter as many bats as possible.
That's true. I mean, it seems like the 3 spot, and maybe it's become the 2, right? Used to, we always thought the best hitter was in the cleanup spot.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it was always the 3-hole where the best hitter was.
Yeah.
And now, it's probably right between 2 and 3, depending on the team.
Yeah, well, and it also, I think, depends on, if you have 2 guys that are have a case for it, then maybe Seager, if you think you're going to have 2 guys on base ahead of your best hitter, then you would drop Seager to, or whoever your best hitter is, to third. Like Josh Hamilton batted third, and he was very clearly the Rangers' best hitter at those times. So yeah, that's kind of. I just like Seager second.
Yeah, so. I do, and I think he does. So
yeah, I think that's where he prefers to hit. But also the player doesn't make out the lineup card. But you do try to put players in the best position to succeed.
Yes,
and if that's where he's comfortable and where he's going to be best, well, then that's probably where they're going to go with it.
Yeah, and you have to. I mean, in a perfect world, at least, in a perfect world, especially against righties, I guess, because so many left-handed hitters have trouble with left-handed pitchers, but especially against righties, right? You're going to go right, left, as all the way through your entire lineup if you can.
Yeah, makes it hard for the opposing manager to corner you with especially with the 3-batter minimum. Makes it a little bit tougher, but I do I do like to do that, like in my mind, and there's just but I also don't like to I wish that you could have 9 guys and just say, all right, don't worry about this platoon business. But I think you're going to worry about platoon business. You want to win the game, and especially against Sanchez, who's going to be tough. And Benny, let's have a lot less platooning for Carter. I thought about it, I did, but he's got to be on the field and healthy. So until that happens, and until he gets more chances against lefties, that's where I got it.
Yeah, and I did toy with what Kellyman's just suggested: Nimmo, Wyatt, and then Seager. And I don't hate that.
It makes sense.
Then you do go left, left.
Right.
And so that, that keeps that nice in the top of the order. I was trying to maybe sneak Wyatt into a slightly more power spot. But, he's allowed to hit home runs from the 2 spot in the batting order.
He is. And the one, and leading off and all that stuff. If he improves on the two strike hitting, and if he can get a few more walks, then it makes it a little more attractive there. Sean Daniel is asking about the thoughts for Hellman and Freeman. I kind of went and was went back and forth between Freeman and
Hellman.
Not Hellman.
Oh,
Haggerty. If Freeman's not going to play every day, which he won't, he probably needs to get at bats somewhere, and while he really has nothing left for AAA after a season last year, I think that there's still, you still want to keep the guy active, because if something were to befall a regular where things had to shift around and you needed everyday at bats from Freeman, you could get him and he would come in sharp and ready to go. Hellman, was really good. He showed some pull side power, made some really nice catches out there. Apparently he can play second and shortstop. Haven't seen it for ourselves yet, but he's part of that mix. I had Duran playing against lefties as the right fielder.
Oh, that's where you had him too.
He's got a big arm, and but you're going to have a bench full of not full of, but you're going to have your backup catcher, and then you're going to have it seems like 3 guys who are the same. Whichever 3 of the 4 make it, and it appears as though Haggerty will.
Right.
So then it becomes 2 of the 3 between Duran and Freeman and Hellman. And Duran, he does have an option remaining, I believe, but they're the same guy.
Yes.
Except Haggerty's the switch hitter. The other 3 are right-handed hitters, and Zeke can play shortstop, which probably gives him an advantage. Freeman can play third. If they're in love with Josh Smith at second and don't want him moving around if something were to happen with Josh Young. So that's going to be, it's always a huge storyline, the bench and the last guy on the team.
It is. And I thought of that too. And I've said it here. There's a big part of me that would rather have Duran. Now he's got to perform to make this happen, but I'd rather have Duran at second and allow me to utilize Smith in that way. Now, the other side of that, in the way we've been using, the Rangers have been using him, which is, very valuable because of the number of injuries they've sustained. But the other side, of course, of that coin is maybe the best Josh Smith isn't doing that, right? Like maybe he's even a better player if he has one position all year.
I think that's a very good point. I think it can, kind of maybe help him stay healthy. Keep him fresh, where he's not racing from one position to the other, or getting on a different different fielding glove every other day. Give him a comfort level, a peace of mind, and then let him settle in. So I think that's a legitimate thing. Yeah, I really do.
Yeah. So those are some of the thoughts. Like we say, we'll have a million lineups / batting orders throughout the course of the season that we'll talk about. And I did like one final thing that Cordua said. I love Evan Carter as the leadoff hitter, even if it's only against righties. But I need Evan Carter to sort of earn that spot. But again, remember, full count Carter, right? This is a guy who sees pitches. This is a guy who can get on base. This is a guy who, once he's on base, can do damage. So there's a lot to that, but he's got to get on the field and stay there first. More coming up as we continue to get through this day. International signing period starts tomorrow. Jeff's been doing some research and talked to some folks, and we talk about who might be on the Rangers list of guys to grab next. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast. Oh, dilemmas, dilemmas, dilemmas. What new thing will I try when I swing by Wild Fork Foods after work today? I really think I'm going to dive, Jeff, into some of their seafood. They have so many options, especially for salmon. And I noticed the last time, in fact, I had a couple of their packages of salmon burgers in my hand. So I'm going to try and remember, everything at Wild Fork Foods is frozen, because frozen is fresher than fresh. That's a motto. That's a thing they say, and it's a mantra, and it's true. And everything they have, from their seafood to their meats to everything else, comes to you frozen. They show you how to thaw it. I guess you just say thaw it. You don't say de-thaw. Thaw it. And it's easy. It's delicious. Everything I've had from there is fantastic. Wild Fork Foods, so much to choose from. 9 locations in DFW.
Yeah, and there's only one Prize Picks. You can do it on your phone or on your laptop. And if you go to prizepicks.com/DLLS, you'll get $50 in free lineups after your first $5 lineup. Man, is this easy. Basically, a lineup consists of 2 to 6 players. You decide or choose whether they will have more or less than a certain statistical category. One of the ones I like in the NBA is points, rebounds, and assists collectively. Yeah. And here's the catch. You can do this thing for $1 a lineup. It's easy. It won't break the bank. And even though you only have $1 or $2 or $3 on the line, you still want to win. So you're following these games.
Yeah, of course.
And it just adds to the sports experience. I've learned a lot about the NBA. Guys I've never heard of before who are actually really, really good players. It's shocking. So anyway, prizepicks.com/DLLS, $50 in free lineups after your first $5 lineup.
So, Leon, you're amazing. Leon says in the chat, I love Misty. I guess you're going to talk about the Winter Carnival in the third segment. You got us figured out, brother. You do. And we are going to talk about the Winter Carnival and other things that are kind of ancillary to the actual team coming up in that third segment of the show. Of course, our cleanup segment coming next. Rarities is in there, Jeff, saying Ranger Suarez. Benny adds to it. Ranger is going to Boston, gets $130 million over 5 years.
What is that? 26 a year?
Yeah,
26 a year. The Rangers weren't going to play for Ranger.
They're not in $26
and that's a lot of money for a guy who has never made 30 starts in a season, and he's good. But also, this was the I won't say the knee-jerk reaction, but their shift from losing out on Bregman. Both Boris clients So you can talk to Scott about both guys at the same time, I guess. I don't know if they got the one they wanted though.
No, I don't either. And I will say, just yesterday we had the list.
I also don't know
there.
about lefties at Fenway, though they've had some good ones in their history. Yeah.
But yesterday we talked about the fact that the Red Sox had not spent a dime.
Well, they just spent a lot of dimes there.
They have a lot of dimes spent there with the
made me think of Blazing Saddles.
$130 million contract. So there you go. And we'll get to that winter carnival thing that's got people going, and we're glad about that. We'll talk about that next in the next segment. Right now, we want to get to that international preview, and in some ways, the Rangers pioneered, the finding and acquiring talent in some parts of the world, I should say, like Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah, Puerto Rico. Sandy Johnson and Tom Grieve, and the wonderful players they got out of there, and then with John Daniels and AJ Preller and Mike Daly down there unearthing birth certificates and finding deals and spending a lot of money and really probably were at least in the conversation for an international spending cap bonus pool.
Right.
And so that's in place now. The Rangers have just under 6.7 million. I think it's like 6,670,000 to spend. So they're going to have they're going to sign a bunch of them.
Curiosity, where does that number come from?
I don't know.
Not sure. Does every team have around the same?
No, there are others that have, I think it's based on record and things
like that. And you try, because I know you sometimes trade for international money.
You can trade bonus pool money. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it doesn't carry over.
Okay.
I don't believe. So anyway, so the Rangers have a lot of guys under agreement. These agreements don't just happen like this week. They've happened in some cases when these kids were 13.
Right.
They are all teams actively scout 12-year-olds.
That's amazing.
In the Dominican Republic and Venezuela. It's crazy. I know you're talking about kids who haven't been through puberty and you don't know what's going to happen. But as we're learning with our boy Henry, that's a big difference maker, the puberty.
Sure.
Yeah. So anyway, the top player is thought to be Elian Rosario. He's from the Dominican Republic. He's an outfielder. He's listed as at ninth on the Baseball America bonus rankings. They project he's going to get between $1 million and $2 million. Great. Kind of a big kid right now. Like big and lean, not like Byron Laura, that disaster. Athletic, probably ends up as an outfield corner, but he's got, power for a 16-year-old. I think he might actually be 17. Anyway, he's got good power and all the things that come with guys who have good power, strike, ability to get the barrel of the bat, strike zone discipline, things like that.
So when you say 9 by Baseball America, that's 9 in this year's class.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the Rangers also had on their top 100 list Jesus Sanchez and Ariel Abreu. Sanchez from Venezuela, Abreu from the Dominican, both corner outfielders. Abreu's 6'3", and he's apparently has long arms and legs and can grow into some power. And he's not really the kind of player the Rangers have been drafting a lot lately, or now Sebastian Walcott's got some long limbs, but he's kind of a freak, So anyway, that's an interesting one. Two others that I talked to some scouts about. Frandel Pineda, who was brought up in the chat not that long ago. He is related to Michael Pineda, who is a big dude and a pretty good pitcher.
Yeah.
He had the what do you have, the steroids or the pine tar, whatever it was. He did get run into some injuries, and it was kind of like a flash of light. He didn't last very long.
No.
So this Pineda, he is 16, athletic, which means a lot of things. Pitching wise, you can add to your repertoire, add velocity, and just help the team in a lot of ways. Right now, he's at 91 to 94 in the fastball. Pretty good breaking ball. They think he's going to be a starter, so that's good. Always good to build up your pitching staff. And then the one who Benny did point out, and Baseball America had pointed him out today, and I'd known about him for a while now, is Santiago Ramirez. He's a catcher from Venezuela, and he might. There are some people who think he's the best catcher available this year. I don't know why that would keep him out of the high rankings or make him a breakout guy. Maybe because, and I don't know the inner workings of Baseball America, even though I help them out sometimes.
Sure.
It seems like this top 100 is just based on bonuses and not necessarily the best players. If you are the best catcher in the class, you got to be a top 100 player. I would think.
I would think,
unless it's just a big pile of poopy catchers.
Yeah.
Anyway, right-handed hitter, some power there, and he's big for a catcher, but that's okay. But when you think about the Rangers catching in the farm system right now, ain't great.
No.
Malcolm Moore, who's the first-round pick in 24, didn't have a great year. He was hurt, didn't hit well when he did play. We'll see what the new hitting philosophy with the new hitting coordinator does for him. But anyway, the one who's closest to the majors is Cooper Johnson. But he caught at AAA last year, never got a chance to make it to the majors, though he was a foul tip away, as they say, an injury and whatnot. So, but there are that's not it. They're gonna probably tomorrow end up signing around 20 guys. And they'll have some $10,000 guys who I don't think count against the $6 million. There's a kid from the Dominican, Carlos Donay. He's a center fielder with a high ceiling. A Venezuelan center fielder, Victor Rodriguez, who is kind of sounds like a Alejandro Osuna, like a gamer kind of guy. And speaking of Mexico, Luis Jaquez, I'm sorry, Braulio Cavero, 19-year-old kid from Mexico, second baseman, third baseman, outfielder, really good hitter. And then a big-bodied third baseman from the Dominican, that's Luis Jaquez. So just some names to keep an eye on.
Sure, and when you hear about a 19-year-old on the list, right? You feel like, okay, I like that. Just in that, he's a little close. I mean, these 16-year-olds, they're not going to be here for a while, right? 4 years is optimistic, I think.
Sure.
For 16-year-olds. So
very optimistic.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that's if they're really good, like this Rosario kid, or if Ramirez is all that as a catcher. But Ramirez is a 16-year-old as well, right?
Yeah, the most of these guys are going to be 16 or 17. And there's nothing wrong with that. The 17-year-olds, I don't know if that means they just didn't find a deal they liked.
Sure.
Last year, kind of their Buscon, their trainer down there, kind of was betting on the player, i.e. trying to get more money for himself as well. That's just what it is.
Sure.
But I do think you see guys who sign really late too.
Sure.
Zeke Duran didn't sign until I think he was 18.
Right.
And some of those really good pitchers the Astros had, like Urquidy and Luis Garcia, they didn't sign Christian, what's his face. They were older when they signed.
Okay.
And so it just depends. Guys, maybe they're hurt, maybe they didn't mature, maybe they had other things going on. Like Duran is from a part of the Dominican where scouts don't get to a lot. Kind of remote and so it took a little while for the Yankees scouts to find him. So it is, as you're throwing darts. I mean, I really think you are.
Yep.
But at the same time, if you trust your scouts and if they have it figured out, like, okay, the formula for these kids and what makes a 13-year-old worth, you want to negotiate a $2.5 million deal with them at 13. What makes them so good? And I think it's harder for pitchers. I think they see it with the position players, athleticism and the swing and whatnot. But
yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, and you don't want to sleep on those $10,000 guys,
right.
As you mentioned earlier in the week. Both Teodo and Santos, right?
Correct.
Were $10,000 guys. So that may be part of the whole thing of drafting these kids so young.
Yeah,
it's difficult to tell exactly how they're going to mature and how they're going to grow up. But,
and the kid from Mexico, Cavero, being 19, Osuna was 18 when he signed.
Okay,
so
you have a slightly
and also,
better idea.
Yeah, Mexico is not part of this,
right?
Phase.
Yeah,
it doesn't get scouted as heavily.
Right, you have a slightly better idea with the older kids about how they're going to continue to develop. Although we're still watching, I think we're still watching Sebastian Walcott. Grow and mature physically, obviously, as well as emotionally. So anyway, that's going to be fun tomorrow. We'll talk all about what we've heard and what we see and what the Rangers have done. And coming up next, let's get to those updates on the Winter Carnival that came out today and answer some of your questions about that as well. It's coming next. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast. And it's Supporters Club time. We appreciated, as we said, all the medallions in the chat for those who have joined the Supporters Club. If you don't have one, just go ahead and get one now. It's only $5 or even $15 if you want the more robust level of supporters. It's the true sicko level stuff that we produce. And I know some of you have seen it and more of you need to. That video that Kat produced last week for us, our behind-the-scenes look at her behind-the-scenes look, basically, at how the day goes for a producer. Sometimes, Jeff, producer can be a very thankless task.
I think it is mostly thankless.
Yeah, but
we try to say thank you every day.
Yeah, we thank her, and we thank you for appreciating her as well. And the video, though, does give you a pretty good insight into some of the stuff that she does on a daily basis, including all of our producers. They do a lot. I mean, I remember when I first got here, we had probably 7 or 8 people at Bally doing the job that she does. Maybe more, but probably 7 or 8 people.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're bankrupt.
Yeah. Jeff, good point. Maybe that's why they're bankrupt. Holy crap. Anyway, join the Supporters Club, won't you?
Yeah, I will. And then do this, though. The Supporters Club is a very nominal fee, whereas our newsletter is free. You do sign up for it by going to alldls.com, which is our homepage. You go to the very, very, very bottom, and there's a blank box that says, put in your email, and boom, you're on the list. Ali today kind of sorted through the mess that was the Anthony Davis story and is the Anthony Davis story.
Yeah.
Started with the national report from ESPN saying he was probably going to miss the rest of the year and needed surgery and all that stuff. And people picked that up, and then old AD went on Twitter and said, "Don't believe the lies."
Yeah.
Well, then set the record straight.
Right.
Anyway, sign up for our newsletter.
Talk to somebody. So I'm Verizon too. Somebody else in the chat, Jeff, is saying, Verizon's, you're still SOS.
I've been going back and forth, but I'm back to SOS.
SOS. So there's some Verizon
which means
problems.
We're SOL.
Yeah.
There we go.
I got in trouble for saying that on network TV one time. SOL, I mean. Yeah, the news director met me at the end exit of the set.
Oh, really?
You know what SOL means? I'm like, yeah, I didn't say it.
Yeah.
Everybody out there's thinking S out of luck. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. So that same night,
tough ass, buddy.
Yeah, that same night, I heard somebody on ESPN say that's a bunch of BS, and I'm like, see there, that's what sports guys do. Nowadays, we still aren't allowed to say yes, but Jeff does a lot.
That's right.
And I think Luds might more. Anyway, sorry about the Verizon problems. I'm glad I'm not having them, but it is a bad day to not have your cell service when things like the Ranger Suarez deal are happening, that 5-year, $130 million deal he has agreed to with the Red Sox. We all agreed that Ranger, as a Ranger, would be a fantastic bit of synergy, but the Rangers haven't got $26 million per year right now to spend on a pitcher.
No, they do, but
they've chosen not to.
Yeah, and so that's fine. And now, if Suarez was considered in the top tier of pitchers, which he was, what does that do to Zach Gallen, who the Prospect Times would like to see signed? Me too, but I don't know what if he's getting 26. I'm thinking Gallen might have just been pushed out of the Rangers price range. Yeah,
it's in that neighborhood. So anyway, it's Sean Daniel who thought he forgot to pay the phone bill. No, apparently there's more to it than that. Let's get to this Winter Carnival. The Rangers have released the dates and the locations, but not specific grocery stores, right? So they're going to be at Kroger's in Dallas, Argyle, Prosper, Fort Worth, Louisville, and then Fort Worth again. Interestingly, not in Arlington. And so I doubt that any of those cities have only one Kroger. Argyle might just be down to so one. If you only have one Kroger, Prosper might too. I know there's a big one right there by that Windsong community my sister-in-law used to live in. But anyway, if you know your Kroger, you can know that that's where they're going to be. They've got the names listed. One of the questions earlier was, why are events this year during the carnival other than FanFest, which they've always charged something for? Other than FanFest, some of these other events are charged ticketed events as well. And that is because I think they believe these are a bigger, sort of more organized, better event to where it's not just signing autographs and sitting. In fact, none of the, other than FanFest, none of those events we just showed you are autographs available. And
correct.
They want these to be meet and greets, and in some ways they feel like the best way to meet, even if you don't specifically get to greet the player, is to have somebody with them and to do like at the Hurtado one that's referenced there by Galaga Champ.
I think he's saying, is anyone willing to play for Hurtado Barbecue instead of money?
Oh, instead of money. No. Okay. There's one at Hurtado that wasn't on that list. I know.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's there, though. That is the Arlington spot, I guess. It's an evening. It's the 19th. It's in the evening of the 19th, which is what day? Monday next week?
Yeah.
Monday. Yeah. And it is.
And they're off.
Right.
So they're not doing Tuesdays or Thursdays. They're not doing the 20th or the 22nd.
Right. And the 19th, the Hurtado thing isn't listed there. These must just be the carnival. The true carnival with Kroger. But anyway, it's it's like a hot stove show, which I assume a Dave Raymond or a Jared are gonna have a part of.
Well, that sounds good.
It does.
I'd probably rather go to that than any of the other ones.
I would, because again, they're going to ask really good questions about, okay, what's this? What's that? Let's talk about this, right?
Yeah.
And as a fan, it's really cool to meet the guys and everything, but you might not, it's like, oh my gosh, I have this opportunity. What do I ask them, right?
Yeah.
And these guys know. They'll know. So anyway, that's one of the reasons they are charging for
this is the Hurtado in Dallas.
Oh, it's the one in Dallas.
Well, I don't know.
I bumped into Brandon, and it's a big one. I think it's right over here by where like Pecan Lodge is and everything.
900 South Harwood Street, Dallas.
Yeah. Brandon said to me, Brandon Hurtado. I saw him at somewhere in the ballpark recently. Said, "Oh my gosh, you've got to go to the Dallas store. It's so great, you know." So I haven't been. I'm going to the Arlington store this weekend. Matter of fact, but
also not on that list is the Frisco one, which is also on the 21st.
And that's a paid. That's another ticketed
event.
Got to
pay for that one, yeah.
And is there a Round Rock one too on that list?
That one's on the 22nd.
Yeah.
So that's their Thursday. Michael Hellman, Cody Freeman, Kyle Higashioka, Jacob Latz, Eric Dorton, the new assistant hitting coach, and Laura Stickles.
Yeah,
will be there.
And again, the ticketed events are there because there is a different level of access, right? And an organized plan, an organized program. So anyway, that's the update there. It is, Jeff and I have also talked about on the show previously. It's interesting that they've changed the whole process somewhat drastically, including eliminating the banquet that they typically have had on the night before FanFest.
Yeah, and that's no skin off of my back because that means I don't have to put on a suit and make a award presentation. But it is a good time to get with some players and talk to them. So Saturday is going to be a busy day for the reporters because we're going to be down there in the bowels of the ballpark.
Yeah,
talking to
everybody,
whoever they let us talk to.
Right, that was the thing.
We got a lot of people to talk to.
There was an opportunity on Friday to get a bunch of the guys just prior to the banquet,
knock them out. Yeah,
and so we got and I remember last year Seager, maybe Simeon, we got a bunch of them, the big ones.
Yeah,
on Friday, and then on Saturday, we had a chance to get others. Like that's when we got Boach last year. That's when we got CY last year. I don't remember who all. So anyway, that's the change. That's
DeGrom.
the difference.
We got DeGrom there last
we got
year.
DeGrom. That's right. Yeah. So anyway, that's the difference there. If you are in Round Rock, you may just swing by the ballpark there in Round Rock to note. I don't know if it's a new. I think it's the regular Round Rock home ballpark.
Yeah, the Frisco one's in the luxurious Embassy Suites
next door
in center field. Yeah.
The one in Round Rock is now also going to be home, Jeff, to the Texas Volts.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty excited about that.
About the AUSL.
Yeah, for Molly, my daughter's purposes, we're gonna have to swing down there and for sure get her an opportunity to see how the game's played. And, they play the Salt Lake team, the Talons. That's their home opener, and the Talons were the gals who threw the bullpen session in the media room at the winter meetings. So maybe we'll get down there and I can flag down the catcher. We talked between pitches.
Really?
As I was just sitting there.
You were right there?
Yeah.
And this wasn't like for show. It was just them getting their work in?
Well, I think it was a little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah. They'll throw bullpens in like hotel hallways because they release low.
Right.
And they're really, really good. So they're not going to be knocking down hitting the sprinkler and causing a flood or anything.
That's cool.
Yeah. But anyway, so that league, I think it's up to 6 teams now.
Okay.
But that's a big deal, I think, for Round Rock. It'll be interesting to see how they configure it though, because it's not a 90-foot bases in softball and 60-foot pitching mound.
Right, and that's why
and of course they'll have to put up like a temporary fence or something.
Right.
But you don't just want to put up caution tape. You need to put a real wall up.
Sure.
So I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see Reed Ryan.
We should call Reed or Chris Almendarez down there and
let's get one of those guys
on
the phone and hear and or bring them in if they're in town. But we could also zoom them up and.
The stock show's coming to town.
Yeah.
And the Ryans don't miss the stock show, the Fort Worth stock show.
You make a good point. Yeah. So see if we can get Reed in here to talk about that. But I think it is exciting news. I think that I love the fact that, this women's softball league opens the door to the Mollies of the world and all these young women who want to play the game but really can't past college.
Yeah.
And I watched a couple of their games last year, and I'll tell you what, man, I mean, it's hard to hit because the pitchers are so good.
Yeah. And they throw so many different pitches.
Yeah.
It's really nuts.
Yeah.
The
crazy
number of pitches you can throw. I had no idea until Molly started pitching.
Yeah. Awesome. So anyway, couple of updates for you there. And next up, it is the cleanup segment, and we'll talk about lots of things happening around the world of baseball next. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast.
Diehard time. Become a diehard. Scan the QR code or go to ALLDLS.com for really multiple opportunities to direct you to becoming a membership. And again, if you go to ALLDLS.com, let's type that bad boy in. Intro, right? Intro, is that the one?
That's it.
Still there. So you can beat the $79.99 regular price with $36 for a year, and that still includes the free shirt. $59 gets you the free hat, and man, let's do it. Let's do it today.
No reason not to.
Baseball's getting ready to start, and I'll be in Arizona in a month's time. Not only that, I will have been there for a few days.
Wow.
Yeah. So
what day do you get there? Do you remember?
Get there the night of the 9th. The first workout is the 10th.
Wow.
I used to get there 2 days early in the morning so I could hit the guys who are in camp early. And then the next day they would open the clubhouse for the, what was report day, which no longer exists. And then in the 10th, their workout day is when all the shenanigans start full blown. But I'll be there bright and early and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Anyway, writing stuff while Clarence is covering the draft with Ali, and while the Mavs are sorting through this Anthony Davis drama, and while the Stars continued their trek toward a Stanley Cup. Got to be a diehard to do that. You get a free T-shirt. Since we're running up on 2 minutes, John, you go to store.allcitynetwork.com for your free T-shirt. That's where you get the hats. Also, 20% off if you're a diehard at store.allcitynetwork.com. John's wearing the Texas diehard. I'm wearing the Sports is Everything shirt. So go do all that stuff now. Let's just do it now.
Yeah. Look at there. You're going to see Leon, or are you still there? You're not there on the 18th, are you?
I'll be there the 18th.
Oh, yeah. Leon's getting there the 18th. So you'll probably bump into Leon again there.
I'm leaving the 20th.
Okay.
And then I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Twice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Spring training is fun. You should all avail yourselves to it if you can. You will not regret it. I promise you that. Batting cleanup now. Yankees acquire Ryan Weathers from the Marlins for 4 prospects, including, Dylan Lewis and Brendan Jones are the only ones I wrote down. They're like 15 and 16 in the Yankees organization.
Yeah.
So, slightly higher ranked, and probably 2. I'm pretty sure one of the others is either a Dylan or a Brendan, like all the kids are, right? It's Dylan, it's Brendan, and there might be a kid from Dominican in there or something too.
Yeah, when the Rangers made their trade, the Joey Gallo trade, Smith and Duran were both ranked outside of the Yankees' top 10 and then entered the Rangers' top 10. So I don't know where these new guys will fall. And I don't know if there's a lot of hype with Yankees prospects, like their top 10's so great or whatever.
Right.
But we'll just have to see. And then as always with these kids, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
So Ryan Weathers' dad pitched for the Yankees.
David Weathers?
David Weathers pitched for the Yankees. Good memory. In 1996. You weren't on the beat yet.
I was not.
But I was.
Ooh.
He was the winning pitcher in Game 4 of the ALDS when the Yankees beat the Rangers in 1996 to clinch the ALDS. I was sitting on a rainy night, that clinching game in 96. We endured a rain delay. It was such a beating. It was October, so that once it got rainy, it got cold. And we were just pretty sure that the Rangers weren't going to win. And then David Weathers, he came in relief. He was about the third or fourth pitcher that night for the Yankees. He came in relief, but he got the victory. The Yankees won the series, and we all got our umbrellas and went home.
Yeah. That's right, because it was rain delayed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember that one. Yeah.
Nasty. Mets have made an offer to Kyle Tucker, and they've made a short-term offer, Jeff, but it's got an average annual value of $50 million. Now, the kid's 28 years old. Is it 3 years? Is that short-term in this day and age? Maybe even only 2 years. But you're a free agent again in 2 years, and you've just made $100 million.
Yeah,
I'm all over that.
I think I would be too. Probably wiggle in an opt-out after the first year.
Right. Probably could.
Yeah.
Probably could. And even if you do a 3-year, as Bregman had done with the Red Sox, he was able to opt out, right? He got the opt-out in. We've seen it with the Japanese guy, Amai, down in Houston. He's got an opt-out. I think these agents are trying to get opt-out. If they can't get that super long-term Juan Soto type deal, Shohei Ohtani type deal, they want opt-outs. They want options.
Well, what about I had this thought. If you don't want him to opt out, you probably got to buy out the opt-out. That doesn't even exist. So maybe that's why you overpay a little bit.
Sure.
Say, hey, we don't want you to opt out. We'll give you $100 million for 2 years.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah. And I think the offer, the AAV, is significantly more than the Blue Jays or the Dodgers are offering. But then you've got to weigh with everything that's happened with the Mets this offseason. This is if you're Tucker. Everything that's happened with the Mets this offseason are not the Blue Jays and the Dodgers at this point the two best bets for me to win soon. Again.
Yeah, and he's won before with the Astros, so
he knows what that's all about.
Maybe that's what's going to drive him.
Right.
He didn't have a great year.
No.
He's injured and
he's had
to play through the injury.
Of injury-plagued years.
And so, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. It should happen soon.
Yeah. $50 million a year. Andy Ibanez, our buddy, former Ranger, Tiger, who also sunk the Astros last year in that wild card series as he delivered the game-winning blow in that game against the Astros. Andy Ibanez has signed, Jeff, with the Dodgers.
Oh.
1 year, $1.2 million. So
that's a major league deal?
Apparently, yeah.
Man.
Apparently, Andy's 32 years old, Cuba. And apparently Andy wants to win too. But then again, Jeff, who doesn't?
Exactly.
Right?
You can just what was the World Series share this year? 500,000 to the winner.
Yeah, something like that.
So maybe it's maybe in his mind he's thinking it's a $1.25 million contract.
Yeah, make a little extra dough.
Yeah.
Speaking of not making dough, but of wanting to win, Rowdy Tellez believes that his team can win the World Baseball Classic.
Team Mexico.
Rowdy will be playing for Team Mexico. There you go. That's pretty cool. I like the hat.
I will say this about Rowdy Tellez, whose first name is John, and his middle name is like Robert or something.
Okay.
He does not speak Spanish.
Really?
Yes.
That is not easy to go play for Team Mexico if you don't speak Spanish. Although a lot of the players,
it's definitely not. He doesn't speak it like he wasn't over there with a Dulles,
right?
Right.
He's not like super fluent,
right?
He can get a few words out, kind of thing.
Well, Kyle Higashioka doesn't speak Japanese fluently,
right?
And he's like, he's like fourth generation,
right?
Exactly. Japanese American, so
yeah,
you wouldn't expect it necessarily, but. If you're going to play for Team Mexico, you'd kind of think, oh, hey, I bet he speaks Spanish. Not real well for Rowdy.
No.
Yeah.
No. I'm Irish, and I don't speak Irish. Although there is a language, Gaelic, but nobody there speaks it either. They all speak English, but it's Irish. It's got a brogue,
Yeah.
Faith in Bigora. Royals have released the plans for their changes.
Oh yeah, I saw this on the Twitter.
And I still don't like it. It is it's hard to see there a little bit, but basically from each of the power alleys to center field stays the same. Okay? Which is good. They're 405 in right center and left center and 410 straight away. But down the line now, and it's hard to see, but down the line in right, I think, is now like 344, moving in 10 plus feet. And down the line and left is like 347. Yeah. And they've moved them. I mean, they've moved a significant portion of the walls, basically all the way to the power alleys in right and left field.
Yeah, when you move it in, I get you're playing half of your games there, and obviously you think it's going to benefit you. It's going to benefit the other team too.
Yep.
The other team, you don't push them back in the top of the inning. They stay in for both sides. So I just keep it the same.
I know.
Come on.
I mean, it's been there since what 70s. 70 to the
69?
Is that right? The dimensions,
pretty old.
Even when they did the really wonderful update to that
very
stadium.
Nice. That was very nice.
Yeah, they really updated it well, but the dimensions always stayed the same. And so, yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Again, I get it if you've got a new stadium or something and you go, oh, God, we screwed up. But not with a stadium that's been around for that long. And plenty of guys have figured out plenty of ways to hit home runs out of that ballpark. So,
right.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't like it.
Steve Balboni.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson.
Right. Yeah, tell Bo we're moving the walls in. Bo'd break a bat over his knee again. That's the most amazing video I think I've ever seen. How easily he snaps that bat like a twig.
Yeah, his throw against the Mariners to get Harold Reynolds.
Oh God, that's
from
amazing.
The wall in left field of the Kingdome. That's something else.
That's amazing.
Because Harold could run.
Oh yeah. His bouncer back to the mound in Arlington that hit Nolan Ryan in the lip, and Nolan's just bleeding all over the front of his jersey and keeps pitching.
Yeah,
I don't think they'd allow you to do that anymore.
The Ventura deal. Nolan tells the story, whether it's become hyperbole now or not, or legend, but like he's down on the bottom of the pile and somebody's throwing guys off and he's getting ready to defend himself, and it's Bo Jackson. He's like, I'm good.
Not gonna mess with that guy. Good. Yeah. So, and then finally, how about our other buddy, Chris Davis?
Oh, I love Chris Davis.
I do too. What a good dude.
Man.
Although he became not a media darling at all in Baltimore. He somehow got crossways with those writers and broadcasters. But we've always loved CD. Heck, his rookie year, I went in Boston. I was on the road with the team, and I went and we did something where he was every year they have, a event in Boston where a visiting player comes. And CD was the choice, and got to know him then. Super nice guy. Anyway, how about the money he's still owed? $31.5 million over the next 12 years. And again, I say, I think it's brilliant. And knowing CD, I think knowing most people, I know there are people out there. I know what the money financial advisors say, right? Money's not going to be worth as much in that 12 years from now as it is today. I get that. But $2.5 million is still going to be a pretty nice paycheck in 12 years from now. You know what I mean? And if you get it all now, I just think it's brilliant to have guaranteed income. I'd say for as long as you can, right?
Yeah.
And again, 12 years only gets him into the 30s. There's plenty of guys, who, including Shohei, and I think maybe Betts' contract too, take him to 46.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, 46. That's 46. They're still getting paid. They ain't still playing, but they're still getting paid. And again, as we know, for Shohei, it's going to be huge money because $680 million of his contract was deferred.
I think John's all for deferred money.
Loving on deferred money.
Yeah. And before we go, turns out that this is not Rangers related. Gary Patterson has been elected to the College Football Hall of Fame, the TCU football coach. And I just ran into this video that somebody put together of him, and it opens with my very favorite. I was on the beat. My very favorite Gary Patterson moment ever when they beat Texas Tech at home, like 15-3 or something. And he was like, Gary had a chip on his shoulder. He's like, everybody's wondering all week how we're gonna stop Texas Tech's offense. You just saw it. Speed, baby. It was so funny. I don't know how I didn't laugh. I might have laughed, actually. Yeah. But anyway, so good for Gary. He's thrown out a first pitch or two at the old ballpark. That's right. So that's how we'll tie it back into baseball. That's tied back to baseball. Well done. Another one in the books. We've got one tomorrow that could be quite fun as we get to the international signings. And on Friday, Jeff's got to take the day off, but we'll have Mike Bassick in here in Jeff's stead, so we'll have a fun day on Friday as well. That's all coming up later this week. We appreciate you hanging out with us, and we'll do it again tomorrow on the DLLS Rangers podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.